What is up? First and Goal podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Before we start, let's real quick shout out social media. Go over to at WOC Main if you guys are listening to this. We are putting clips up there. We put clips on Rumble, YouTube, TikTok starting this episode. So please go check out all our social medias. It helps us a lot. But Sam, another Sunday basically in the books. We're recording this with 2 minutes left in the Bears Cowboys game. So we haven't gotten to Sunday Night Football. We won't really touch on Sunday Night Football because we don't know what happens. But before we get into the games, how's your weekend been, buddy?
Eh, Sports wise, not great, but
We're both above ground. We're both breathing. That's what really matters. But let's talk about things that might not be breathing, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals.
yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, I mean the defense of the Vikings looks really, really good. Um, but then
Which
again, it was
makes
against Jake
sense.
Browning.
I mean, Brian Flores is the top defensive coordinator in the NFL. Everyone, oh
Oh,
fuck,
all right. We're gonna keep that in.
my
But yeah,
bad.
no, Brian Flores looked really, really good.
Yeah, my bad. Clicked on the Vikings Bengals game and an ad popped up.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, did you get to see a lot of the Vikings Bengals? Or was it mostly just
I was
locked
on the
into the
other game,
Packers?
but yeah, it was and then when I turned it back on, it was Steelers Patriots because of how big of a blowout it was. From what it looks like, Carson Wentz looked pretty good, and unfortunately, I didn't start Mason in fantasy this week.
Yeah, so Jordan Mason looked awesome. Carson Wentz, obviously 14 of those points came from defensive touchdowns, but the defense was humming. I think we're gonna have to talk more about this on the Thursday episode, but is Carson Wentz needing to be the starter here moving forward? Because this team looks completely different than what it does when JJ McCarthy's back there.
I mean, it was also against the Bengals defense, which the Bengals defense the last how many years has been horrible.
Yeah, but would you say like the Bengals defense is better than the Bears defense?
No,
Would you say, I mean, I think it's pretty close to be honest with you. But I mean, if Carson Wentz was week one, wouldn't it have been a huge like difference in that game?
I mean they still got the win. I
A
don't know if
win's
it
a
matters.
win. I mean,
Yeah,
so the Vikings moved to 2-1 with really a bad loss that they should not have had against the Falcons. So let's jump into the Falcons game. They got blown out by the Carolina Panthers.
yeah, that was a rough showing for Michael Penix Jr. and Bryce Young. I
Penix,
mean, he played okay.
he played okay. Penix was the story though. Like Penix looked awful.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
he looked like he couldn't do anything with that offense.
and they have a lot of talent on that offense.
Um, the Panthers 30-0. I think that's probably the surprise of the week up until we get maybe surprise blowout of the week because this was such a strange week with a lot of blowouts happening. And another blowout that we had was the Colts over the Titans. Not so much surprising, but the Colts look real legit.
Yeah, I mean, with all that talent on that roster, Danny Dimes just pretty much, or sorry, I guess the new nickname is Danny Diamonds.
And Indiana Jones.
I don't know. I heard
So
Danny Diamonds today when they were doing the pregame with Rich Eisen.
who's calling him that?
Rich Eisen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So, but yeah, I mean, all he has to do is not turn the football over, and the defense is good. They have a lot of talent around them. What eight or 18 for 25 for 228 and a touchdown. Then turn the ball over. He has a lot of weapons around him, and Tyler Warren, Michael Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor, Alec Pierce, Josh Downs.
so what we said was the Colts should do this if they're actually a good team because good teams beat up on bad teams. That's what it
Yeah.
is. The Colts 41-20 against a rookie quarterback and really not a great Tennessee roster. The Colts might be legit. And honestly, this might be a spot where now we kind of gave them the L already next week against the Rams. I don't know if I'm still doing that.
Yeah, same. I mean, they look like the so far this year, they look like the class of the AFC South.
Like I'm hoping that we wrote that in pencil because might need to erase that to put a W next to the Colts there, which if that happens, I think it's all full speed ahead because I don't know anyone in that division that can stop them. And honestly, they look like they could be a real contending team in the playoffs if this is the version of them, especially behind like a Jonathan Taylor run game.
Yeah, I don't know. The Titans obviously are one of the worst teams in football. Everyone knew that coming into the year, but the Jaguars don't look great under Liam Cohen so far.
Mm-mm.
The Texans,
And that's the game that we're actually going to jump into was
yeah,
the
CJ
Jags
Stroud just
Texans.
looks like he can't do anything behind that O line.
CJ Stroud looks legitimately awful. He looks like he has no idea what he's doing. And again, I mean, like, did he curse himself? Because there's always going to be that clip now of him and Caleb Williams. And
Just came back and won.
what'd you say?
Chargers hit a game-winning field goal,
Oh,
and the 49ers are driving right now on the Cardinals to hit a game-winning field goal.
how are the Bears doing?
Well, they're gonna win.
Oh, okay, good. Um,
They already won.
yeah, mine hasn't updated, but I saw 35 seconds. But we'll get into that because I'm gonna have some very fun words for still kind of negative to be honest. Um, where were we though? Texans Jaguars. Jaguars moved to I believe 2-1 now.
Yep.
Um, but they didn't impress me either, and I'm starting to actually kind of get a little worried about Brian Thomas Jr.
It's still early, and it is a new offense for him from last year. So I feel like him, Lawrence, and Cohen have to get somewhat on the same page.
He just like looks like he gives up on plays, not because he's not into the play. It almost looks like he's afraid to get hit. And I thought that was just gonna be like a last week thing, but I saw a couple routes where that happened again this week. Obviously, he scored a touchdown late, which really was the game changer here. Um, with a little under 2 minutes. No. He wasn't the
That was
2 minutes, was he?
that was Bayshul, Tutin, or Travis Etienne.
ETN scored the last one. Why was I thinking
I mean, Nico
he
Collins scored one late.
Brian Thomas Jr. had a huge reception at the end of the game, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it said that he had two receptions for 55 yards, one for 46 yards.
I don't know what I'm talking. I might be missing something here. Um, but no, anyway, that still, regardless, the Jaguars look like they still have to figure it out. Now, new system being 2-1, new head coach, that's not a bad position to be in. And who knows? The Colts obviously still could very much just choke this all away. And then it looks like the Texans are that team that's kind of shot themselves in the foot one too many times. And I'm almost already ready to write them off.
Yeah, I mean, that O line might be the worst in the league. And CJ Stroud's not the most mobile. He's pretty mobile, but I feel like, especially with him, which most quarterbacks, if he gets any pressure, he's screwed.
He like I don't know what it is. Like it looks like he's just lost all command of the offense. Now, I'm not saying that like the team doesn't respect him, but it just looks like he's a completely different player. And I almost want to say it's a curse because it goes back to literally that week two, like him telling Caleb Williams, like, don't worry, man, you'll get where I am in this league or whatever the hell he said. It was like, dude, you were a rookie last season. You went to the playoffs once at that point. It's like that's not hopefully the ceiling for Caleb Williams. But nonetheless, I feel like ever since that, it's been just mediocre play. The
It
team kind of was able to guide him to the playoffs last year because the division was so weak, but we're not saying that again this year.
no, and again, young quarterback. It helps if you can get a running game going, and they only rushed the ball 19 times when it was a one score game.
Yeah. Well, let's do one more game before we go to our first break of the day. Um, and this is probably the game that we're going to be the most knowledgeable on because I feel like we both were definitely way more heavily paying attention to it. Um, what are the honest reactions to this like Browns?
I
win.
mean, the offense, I feel like it was the Packers. What? I think the Browns scored 13 points in the last 4 minutes of the game
Yeah.
or something like that.
Well, you and I were texting. We're like, I was like, the Browns could do the funniest thing, and that would be to
Yeah.
beat the Packers. And then your reaction, which I think was pretty much everyone in the world's reaction, was, well, they'd have to score 10 points.
Yeah,
They
I didn't
barely
see
were able to do that. They were barely able to do that.
even with that implosion. I mean, that O line, the Packers O line looked horrible all day. The Packers defense looked good, but that Browns defensive front is good. Either that or the
Is there any
Packers O
worry
line.
to you? Because obviously earlier this week, like you had all these players on the Packers, like so confident already that they were going to be 17-0 at the beginning or at the end of the year. And then this is how they come back out.
Well, I will say under LaFleur, they have had issues coming off of bye weeks, which this was a long like what they had 10 days off.
Yeah.
So I think especially with the young team, after how everybody was talking about them coming off that Washington and Detroit wins, I feel like they were feeling themselves a little bit and maybe didn't put the best week into practice because they're like, oh, it's just the Browns, which the Browns have played both their opponents tough. They played
Right.
Joe Burrow with the Bengals tough, and they played the Ravens tough up until the end. So maybe this Browns defense is a little better than what people think they are, and can keep them in games. I mean, Love didn't look too bad outside of that one pass.
Love, and I've said it before, and we all know what I've said. This team's only going to go as far as Love took them. If you can't score on a team like the Browns, which I'm not saying their defense isn't good, I will also say it's going to be very tough to score on a team like the Eagles
Yeah,
or
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, if this is how the Browns front four is getting to them, just
the
imagine when the
Rams.
Eagles, yeah, or the Rams. Like, I understand your all pro right tackle went out on the first play, on the second play of the game, if you count the kickoff.
Yeah.
And then I think your top free agent signing went out, Aaron Banks, and Morgan and Belton didn't look great. Morgan, yeah, Jordan Morgan looked horrible that game. I think he had 3 or 4 false starts, and he was just getting beat. So
So then
it's
where are you on the trust level of Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur?
I mean, I trust them. They their offense was looking better. They just couldn't finish drives. They couldn't get the. I feel like it's a lot of teams are trying to focus on stopping the run game because I feel like that's how the Packers offense is powered. Like if they can get the run game going, it feeds off the play action and can keep and get the offense going. Which yeah, but
So
I think it's
the re
just
oh
it
yeah.
didn't. It's their first bye week. Still the youngest team in the NFL. I think they'll come back against the Cowboys and have a better performance next week. I think, especially what you came off of 2 emotional wins, had a little bit down of a week, and I feel like next week's going to be emotional again. Then you got to buy. Then you got the Cincinnati Bengals. So you get a couple. Hopefully, they can get a couple wins in there and get back on track.
So Green Bay and like the Milwaukee area in general is a lot like the Chicago area when it comes to their personalities on air, like
Oh,
on
are
the
you talking
radio
about
waves.
Homer?
So I'm gonna play the 27-second clip. This is the reason I asked you that question. I just want to know what your thoughts are because this is on ESPN Milwaukee by your guy Homer,
Yeah.
talking about Jordan Love. And let me make sure that you can hear it.
You cannot trust Jordan Love. I don't care if they're paying him $100 million. I don't care how good you think he is, but you cannot trust him. That is done and over. You must recognize one of his weaknesses, and there are other strengths, is his ability to do incredibly stupid things, and you cannot give him the opportunity because the next time it happens when you do, it's going to cost you something way bigger than this.
So
I mean,
what's your thoughts on that?
so I did hear Jordan Love's post game interview So on that pick, he thought that because earlier in the game they ran the same play to Wicks where Kraft was running, and earlier in it they were running man, so he thought they were going to run man. He's like, that was just a good play by their safety. I mean, you probably shouldn't have thrown that ball, but if you thought, because I think I saw the play and I'm like, they were all huddled right by the line. It didn't look like anybody was deep. I'm like, if he held it for a little bit longer, I think Kraft would have scored a touchdown on that play.
I think that the Packers are going to need to take a long look in the mirror. And that's not a bad look in the mirror to say, like, oh, the season's over. It's definitely not, obviously. But clearly, your team is not as good as you think you are. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yes. And I actually like what Micah Parsons said post game, where he said, like, it's very hard to win games in the NFL. Now, should we have probably won this game? Yes. But he goes, it's very hard to be an undefeated team and win a Super Bowl. He goes, even good teams lose sometimes to teams that they shouldn't. I don't I like what he said. I don't love what he said because it almost sounded like he was like, okay, it's gonna happen, which deep down you can say that you know that, but that fresh after a game, it's almost like I don't know if I want my star player to be reacting this way. I kind of wish he was a little bit more pissed off.
I mean, that's probably how I'd react too if it was after a game. I'm like, shit happens. I mean, they they played the defense played really well. The offense didn't have a great game, but it looks like the Browns have a pretty good defense. And I think LaFleur struggles against like the defensive calling games against defensive coordinators like Jeff Schwartz, or who's the other guy that was he was the Bills DC for a while too. Or
Leslie
like the
Frazier?
yeah, he struggles against Leslie Frazier or a Vic Fangio, like defensive coordinators that have been in the league for a while, or like the Wade Phillips of the world,
Mm-hmm. Dan
where
Quinn.
I think they see how a team wants to attack them and make adjustments. I think LaFleur struggles a little bit with making in-game adjust, or like at least getting the players to make in-game adjustments. I mean, he did adjust a little bit with the chipping of the edge rushers because Miles Garrett and the other edge, whoever was out on the other edge, was wrecking the game early on. And it did look like he was trying to get Josh Jacobs more involved, and I don't think it's all on how he called the plays. That special teams for the Packers has always been bad. I don't know how you. I mean, let's talk about that crazy like 5 minute stretch there where there were three blocked field goals to end games.
Well, wait, because we'll talk about those other games too. Before we jump off this and go to a break, I do want to act real quick, just say something about the Browns. We mentioned how good this Browns defense actually is. Like, they have something to build off of there. And yeah, you won the game close. I feel like if you're the Browns, you need to put Dylan Gabriel in tomorrow.
Yeah,
Joe Flacco looks like he is a corpse of himself.
well, it doesn't help that I think what both their starting tackles were out, and I think possibly a starting guard. No, no, yeah, Batonio left early, so I think both teams were without 3/4 of their O line in the game.
I get that, but like he looks so immobile and he looks like there's no reason if it wasn't for all those calls in the end zone, um, that the Browns shouldn't have easily won this game. Like he got bailed out by calls. And I mean, I'm not saying they were bad calls for once. But if you play a team that just defends well enough, there's no way he's scoring 10 points, 13 points, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Like
I didn't
he
think there
looked
was a,
awful.
and if Love doesn't throw that pick, I don't think this game's even. I don't think they even have a chance of scoring a touchdown.
I think at one point, I think even you said game.
Yeah, when they went up 10-0, I think at the end of the third quarter, I was like, the way they're playing, I don't see them being able to drive it down the field two times.
I think if you said like like what would happen first if this game continued, like the Packers score up to 50 points or the Browns scored 20, I think I'd still go Packers.
Yeah.
Like they didn't move the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
Judkins looked fine, but like it's almost the reverse of what other teams have, where like you run the ball to open up the pass game. They need to pass the ball to for teams not to just load up the box because they know what's coming.
yeah, I mean, Judkins looked. It took him a while to get started, but he looked pretty good at the end, which I was a little bit surprised at how bad the Packers' run defense was considering how good they were against the Commanders and the Lions. But yeah, it's one
But
game early on. I feel like they're such a young team. They'll learn from not to. I feel like this is good early on to be like, maybe we shouldn't be overlooking teams, no matter on their record.
well, 2-1, the Packers move on. You guys get the Cowboys next week, I believe. So
Yeah.
I think there's also a possibility they were looking past the Browns. Because everyone knows that that's going to be a big game where Micah Parsons returns.
Yeah.
And honestly, with how much the Cowboys got hurt today, I have a feeling this could be a really ugly game again for the Cowboys. But we'll see you guys on the other side of the break where we'll talk the rest of the noon games, and then I'll be waiting for the Bears talk. Quick shout out to our friends over at BuckedUp Energy. Use code winners W1NN3RS for a percentage off of your next order, whether it's pre-workouts, amino acids, babe stacks for the lucky lady in your life. Use code winners W1NN3RS. Thank you guys and enjoy the rest of the show. All right, that was an ad read from Bucked Up. We're going to jump into the Steelers-Patriots game. Steelers get a 21-14 win. Big story from this game, Aaron Rodgers moves into sole position of fourth place in all-time touchdowns, which he passes Brett Favre. So, I mean, as two Packers legends, do you have any thoughts on that one?
Did you see what he said post game?
No.
When he was asked, like, what does it mean to pass Brett Favre? He's like, just means I've been in the league a long time. I'm like, that's such an Aaron Rodgers answer.
That's the version of Aaron Rodgers, though, that people have come to love, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice for him to not like be like, oh yeah, it means so much to pass. I mean, it probably would have been nice to hear, oh, it means so much to pass the guy that I took over for, but
Nah.
how far is he away from Manning or Breeze?
I mean, he'll probably get to Manning because I think if he plays 2 years. Um, if he retires after this year, I don't think he'll hit it. If he continues, I have a feeling he would hit it like early next year. I think he's like 35 away.
Okay, yeah, he's not hitting it this year then.
No, but Breeze, I think he's like 70. So I don't
There's no chance. And then I knew he wasn't going to hit Brady.
know. But Aaron Rodgers, good story. Steelers move on to another victory, to their tour of getting to 9-8 with Mike Tomlin. But the other side of the story is Drake May did not play amazing. I won't say it was all his fault that they lost because their running backs just kept fumbling the ball. And I don't know how you fix that one, to be honest. They fumbled at the goal line.
They
Antonio
fumbled
Gibson
four
fumbled.
times
Yes.
and
Like
lost all four.
yes.
So they had five turnovers this game.
So, I mean, turnovers obviously are the story of this game because for it to only be 21-14 and you turn the ball over 5 times, clearly you should probably be the better team, but it's pretty hard to win a game in the NFL with 5 turnovers.
Yeah. And yeah, again, I don't know which because the guys that are fumbling it were Ramondre Stevenson, been in the league
Mhm.
a long time, Antonio Gibson, been in the league a long time, and their quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, Drake May, like I said, he probably could have done more to win this game, but I don't even like I've seen a lot of bad football in my life. I don't even know where to start when I'm thinking about this game. Like, do you just say like bad luck and we move on, or like because it wasn't even like it was one guy; it was your entire running back group, minus Travion Henderson, who I kind of am confused why he wasn't getting the ball even more than he did. I know he had 11 carries for only 28 yards, but you drafted him early for a reason. And if Ramondre Stevenson is only going to get 4 carries and he's going to fumble
2 times.
twice,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing there.
Yeah. I mean, Josh McDaniel should probably get a little bit more creative with him. because he is pretty. He's an extremely fast running back. I
Yeah.
just get him into space, even if it's just a little screen pass to him. Like the Packers got Matthew Golden going today with a couple of screen passes, and he looked solid. But yeah, just I don't know. Just
I mean, they have a lot of guys that probably should touch the ball a little bit more than they did. I mean, Stephon Diggs, 3 receptions, 23 yards.
yeah,
Um,
this, did he throw a temper tantrum on the sideline for only getting 3 touches?
Not
He
yet,
had
but I'm
11
sure.
tar. Oh, never mind. That's
Yeah.
long.
Wait. Yeah, he
Long.
had he
He
had
had three
11
touches.
three three targets, so he caught all his targets. Um, Realistically, I mean, Drake May completed 28 of 37, and I want to say one of them was just thrown away. Because I'm looking at the targets and there's one that's not accounted for. So either that or he spiked it. But yeah, I mean, Drake May didn't play too terrible, but
He
the
got sacked
team,
5 times.
it, I get that it's a new system. I get everything. I'm just wondering if you're a Patriots fan, like, are you a little worried?
I mean, they're a fairly young team too. I don't think there's too much to worry about. I mean, the Steelers defense hasn't looked good coming into the game, but everyone thought that they would have a good defense since they're the highest paid. And I'm guessing with everyone talking about that, the defense probably was like, we need to step it up a little bit. So we'll see.
Let's talk Rams Eagles. Um, that was another chaotic game.
I looked at the score. What was it?
The final was 33-26.
I know,
But
yeah.
it was 26-27. The Rams were trying to kick a game-winning field goal, if that's what you're trying to say.
No, I knew that. It was something else.
The Rams had full control of this game for pretty much all of it.
Yeah, that's what I was because I thought they were up by like 3 or 4, like 3 scores at some point.
3 or 4 might be too
They were
many.
up 26-7 with at the start of the third quarter.
So at halftime.
Yep. So no, they scored a touchdown with 54 seconds into the third quarter.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that and I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, they're up 26-7. I was like, oh man, this game's over.
Yet the Eagles came crawling back. And they I mean they put it on in the second half, obviously.
And what a play by the big man Jordan Davis, blocking the field goal and then taking it all the way for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, field goals were obviously the story of this week. And I will say the Eagles probably shouldn't have won this game, but when you're a team that's Super Bowl caliber, sometimes you can pull out games that you maybe shouldn't be. Um, I don't, I think if you're the LA Rams, you just kind of have to look at this game and be like, we're right there, but you can't take too many more of these. Like, it's like a heavyweight boxing fight. Eventually, one of these is going to knock you out.
Because what it's 3 in a row against the Eagles in the last 2 years that they've lost.
They were the only team to play the Eagles tough in the playoffs last year. Still took a loss. This game, it looked like they were going to hand the Eagles their first loss. Obviously, get the loss. Um, I'm bleeding all of a sudden. That's weird. But no, I mean, if you're the Rams, like this is probably your last chance, to be honest, with Matthew Stafford's age, with a lot of the things that can go wrong very quickly.
Especially with this history for his health.
Right. I mean, you need him to get through the entire season first. But I think if you're the Rams, I think you have to kind of be hoping that you can turn this around because I have a feeling you're gonna play them again at some point come January.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking already like pre-thinking of power rankings. I was thinking like fourth, third, and then the way they lose that game, I can already tell you they're not going to be in my top five.
They still
So
played him tough.
they played them tough, but it's a bad loss. I know it like when we look back at this in December, you're gonna be like, oh, they lost to the Eagles. It's the way they lost to the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles scored 26 unanswered.
Right. And it just is not a game that you should have let get away from you. Now, another team that almost let the game get away from them The Buccaneers beat the Jets 29-27.
I thought they were going to lose that game.
They had what, a 23 to like three lead or something? It was something crazy.
They
Um,
had a at some point in the fourth quarter.
26-13 is what, oh, they had a 23-6 lead at one point.
Yeah, they had a 23-6 lead in
Just,
going into the fourth quarter
yeah,
and almost gave it away.
to Rod Taylor at quarterback.
And the
So,
0-3 Jets.
well, yeah, now 0-3. So there's two sides of this, and it's pretty much all quarterback. Terod Taylor, is he gonna possibly end up keeping this position once Justin Fields is healthy?
Because what? They just gave Justin Fields a 2 or 3 year deal. I
Two,
think
we
two
talked about
year.
it last week. It was 2 years,
Yeah.
40 million, 30 million
Yeah.
guaranteed. So they can get out of it after the season. But that was a pretty competitive Jets team. And that's
Yeah.
a
And I mean
very
that
good Bucks team.
yeah, and that defense should be a playoff caliber defense.
It looked like it was for a while there. I mean, Terod Taylor, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. That's the type of numbers that all they need to be able to get wins in New York.
That's what they thought they would all they'd need out of Aaron Rodgers last year.
But, yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers did better than that.
Yeah.
But still couldn't find wins. Now, this is a new coaching staff. It looks like they are a little bit better coached than they maybe were last year, and maybe there's a little bit more of a willingness to learn. We'll put it that way,
Yeah.
opposed to what Aaron Rodgers was able to provide. But the New York Jets, I don't think it's, I mean, hope on the season. I don't think they're a playoff team, so I think you can probably mark that one away. But there's hope moving forward for this team. The question is, how do you keep everyone? Because eventually these guys are going to want to go out and win.
Yeah. And they want to get paid, which I'm guessing this year or next year you try and get another rookie quarterback in.
Yeah, and so that's actually a good way of moving on from that. Is quarterbacks that got paid, and then you might still need to get a rookie quarterback. The Raiders might need to move off Geno Smith sooner rather than later, and the Commanders with Marcus Mariota made them look terrible. And I wouldn't even say the Commanders played that well.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like the Raiders had a turnover all game either.
The Raiders, it was a weird game because I mean obviously I was only really seeing it through red zone. Geno Smith, it was the most deceiving 289 and 3 touchdowns that I've ever seen in my life.
So it was like the Blake Bortles when he'd put up fantasy stats where they'd
Yeah,
be down by so
this was
much and then
100% just like a fantasy dream. If you're like, oh my God, I don't have a quarterback and I'm gonna put Geno Smith in, this is the best case scenario in fantasy. But if you're a Raiders fan, like it's like, oh my God, like what was this? Like if you actually had to sit through that game and watch Ashton Genty 17 carries for 63 yards behind the great Glaze gang.
DJ Glaze on the deck, spinning fire so raw. Raiders O-line standing tall, no flaw. Ashton Genty in the backfield slick. They block their shit,
Come
man, they
on.
move
The
so
Glaze
quick.
gang actually looked like they were holding their own for a little bit there. And then Ashton Genty just is not breaking tackles. So I don't know what you do. Like, and everyone's gonna say like, oh well, he's getting killed behind the line every single time. Kinda, but like when he's in open space, he's not getting away from anyone. So no one's gonna have a perfect game where everyone's just blocked every single time and they don't get touched for 5 yards down the field. That's just not the NFL. That might happen in college football when an SEC team plays like a team from the American Conference. Yeah, that could happen.
or the Big Ten.
Depends on what Big Ten program. Um, Clearly not the one we support. But yeah, I mean Ashton Genty, he looks like he is not the Ashton Genty that they thought he was drafting.
Yeah, I mean, again, still only his third game, but if you're not you're not going to get more elusive as you get further into your NFL career.
No. I think that Trey Tucker, great game. 8 receptions for 145 and 3 touchdowns.
I bet he is the pickup in fantasy of the week.
He probably should be. I mean, he actually is a pretty talented wide receiver. and I would be shocked if Jacoby Myers is still on this team by week 8. Um, but I don't know what like the Raiders have a lot of issues, and I want the Glaze gang to be good. I really do.
Yeah,
But
I mean, they gave up 201 rushing yards on 32 carries today. So
wait, who gave that up?
the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders. We're talking about the offensive line. Um, they they did let Geno get sacked 5 times. So 5 times getting sacked, they as a team they averaged 3.3 per carry on 28 carries. Didn't crack 100 yards. Not exactly great.
Yeah, I mean, did
But
anyone really think the Raiders would be good this year?
no, and that's a very good sign for me as a Bears fan because next week we get to roll into Allegiant, and hopefully you can continue what they did today, which we'll talk about on the other side of the break. Um, yeah, no, I'm pumped to talk about this after the break.
We take a break from the podcast to talk about our friends at SeatGeek. You can get tickets to your favorite sporting events, concerts, plays, and much more. It's so simple. Use code JDIETRICH, and they are going to hook you up with $20 off your order. Use in the app or online on their easy-to-navigate website. And don't just live life, but experience it. Again, the code is JDIETRICH. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, that was an ad read from our friends over at SeatGeek. Let's get into the 3 o'clock games. Obviously, we know which one we're going to end with on this. So, which one do you want to start with, honestly?
I'll do Chargers Broncos.
So that was probably the most competitive. Well, I shouldn't say that. That was probably the most meaningful game, I feel like, of the 3 o'clocks. I would probably guess.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, yeah, the 49ers Cardinals was 2-0 teams, but I don't really know how much we're trusting either of them. But I will be honest, I didn't get to see a lot of the 3 o'clock games because I was more so focused on one. But what were your thoughts on the Chargers?
I mean, you told me that there's only 2 MVP candidates. There might be 3.
He didn't play that amazing. But I
I
mean, I guess you
mean,
could say the same thing about Josh Allen. Um, week 2, so last week. I mean, yeah, he had 300 yards, but only one
he
touchdown,
let him on
one
those
pick.
he let him on those 2 drives at the end of the game to get him the win.
See, I didn't get to see the ending drive, so I mean, he's still going to be in my top 4. But for Justin Herbert, this is a big win to move to 3-0 because I feel like if you lose this game and you have a couple teams at 2-1 at the top, it was just going to open the door for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, and if the Chiefs can't pull it off here on Sunday Night Football, that's 3 games back already with and the Chargers had the lead in the head-to-head.
Now, you guys are listening before the game, or we're recording this before the game has even started. You guys will be listening tomorrow when this game's already over. So this is totally hypothetical. But if the Chiefs are to lose a game that they should not lose to the Giants, season's over, I think.
I think the division's pretty much over. I don't know if their season is, but I think they don't have. I think unless the Chargers just have a, I mean, it's still early, have a massive collapse, but the way they're playing right now, I don't see the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have to go through the wild card if they are going to try and get back to a Super Bowl.
With
If
teams
they
like the
lose tonight,
Ravens, the Bills, you're gonna have to play the Chargers again. You still have to play the Broncos twice.
yeah, you're
Weird things
probably
happen with the Raiders. Yeah, I think that you can kiss the division away.
yeah. I don't think you can. The way the Chargers are playing right now, I don't think they can make up 3 games on them.
No, I mean, and their Chargers are doing this without the running game really even being what it probably would like to be for Jim Harbaugh.
Because I think it will get going eventually, but Marion Hampton, 19 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. Guy who I think stepping up though for the Chargers on offense is Quentin Johnston. Looks like he knows how to catch a football again.
He looks like the guy that we thought he'd be out of TCU. I think he was a first round pick.
Yeah, he was.
So he finally has put it together. He looks like the Heisman Trophy candidate that he was. Um,
Which if he can start catching a football, that those weapons of Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, Lad McConkey, uh,
Marion Hampton out of the backfield.
Trey Harris, they still have that they can throw in there.
Right.
That
They
looks
have
like
the
pretty good
weapons.
weapons for Justin Herbert.
They have the weapons to do it, and I think that the Chargers are looking damn good to probably take this division for the first time, not having it be the Chiefs in however many years it's been. If I had to guess, probably 2017.
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah, good for the Chargers. This was a good win. I didn't get to catch the end of this game, unfortunately. But before we get to the game that I am just so ready to talk about, the 49ers narrowly beat the Cardinals. I believe this was also on a last second or last couple plays of the game.
Yeah, last second field goal.
So a big day for special teams, both good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was good special teams play for one team or a couple of teams. Just
Not for everyone.
yeah. I mean, did you see what Mac Jones said after I think the game last week, where he's
No,
like, "This is the head coach I want to be playing, or I always wanted to be playing under."
it makes sense. Now Mac Jones, I know, was shaken up. It looks like he finished the game for the Niners.
Yeah, he went
So
27 of 41 for 284, a touchdown and a pick.
I know when I was flipping back and forth, I saw that he had gotten injured a little bit, like he was hobbling when they were in the red zone, and I believe they ended up kicking a field goal. So at that point in the game, we'll see. That's something to monitor because if Mac Jones is hurt, I believe they go to Alec Martinez, maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
so I mean that's an issue for the 49ers. But while being 3-0, I still don't think they're the favorites in that division because the Seattle Seahawks are a wagon.
Yeah, I mean, they looked good today.
I know I've said some good things for the Saints. There's nothing good to pull from this game. Spencer Rattler is awful.
Well,
Um,
I think they're just hoping to get an early pick and maybe bring back the prodigal son to Louisiana.
we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Like the Saints, if you're Alvin Kamara, I don't know why you'd want to stay there. Chris Olave, I believe, is locked in there, but he had 10 receptions for 57 yards.
On 14
So
targets.
he's averaging 5.7 a catch today. That's terrible for a guy of his quality.
Yeah, it is, but
But I mean,
there's
like,
not much else there. What there's Alvin Kamara, maybe Juwan Johnson and Chris Olave. There's not much else for targets
no, and on the
there.
defensive side, like Sam Darnold didn't do anything special this game.
Just didn't turn the
Like
ball over.
he just didn't turn the ball over and he made smart completions and they ended up scoring 44 points on you.
And Torrey Horton had a touchdown receiving and on the
Punt.
yeah,
Yep.
and punt return.
I don't know. The Seahawks are a very good team and I'm excited to see where they kind of go. I think that they are now definitely the favorites in the NFC West. Because I think we were just kind of waiting for them to break out a little bit and show what they can really do.
I'd still think it's the Rams. I don't trust Sam Darnold when it comes to crunch time, but
No, and I mean, we'll figure out if he learned everything he needed to learn from Kevin O'Connell because it looks like he can turn any quarterback into a good quarterback. Um, but let's get into the last game of the 3 o'clock window. For the sake of not having it all be one-sided, I'll let you real quick start. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, what are you thinking right now?
I mean, what CD went down.
CD went down, Diggs went down, but I
And
mean, your defense was already not good.
yeah, and even if you're bad, you can't really move off Dak at this point. I mean,
No, and
Dak didn't look horrible.
Dak threw 2 interceptions to Tremaine Edmonds.
I will say the one I didn't watch most of this game, but the
The
one play
second
I did,
interception was just like it was 4th down. You have to get rid of the ball. So I mean, I wouldn't put too much blame on him for that one.
I will say I thought the play of the game that kind of turned it around for the Bears was Tyreek Stevenson ripping that fumble away from Javonte Williams.
And that was the first drive of the game.
That because Dallas looked like they were driving. They stopped the Bears, I think, on 4 plays or 3 plays to start the game.
Yep.
And it was on Javonte Williams breaking a long run. And then I think that gave the offense a little bit more momentum.
Yep.
And hell of a play from Tyreek Stevenson drawing that ball loose.
So Tyreek Stevenson going into this game had a perfect passer rating against. We can no longer say that, I believe. I haven't seen the stats, but I would imagine that there's no longer an ability to say that. The Bears did what we all hoped that they could show, which is the Ben Johnson offense looks good when it is ran correctly. Caleb didn't try to do too much. He just found his guys. There was still a few passes that you're like, I wish we would have had that one back. And there was some luck. There was a pass that got tipped at the line that probably should have been intercepted. But it just fell into no man's land and no one could get to it in time. Odunze had a drop that probably should have been caught. I know people are talking about how the ball kind of wobbled out of the hand of Caleb, but I mean, it hits you in the hands at the 1 yard line. You probably should catch it. The real story of this game is Luther Burden. Luther Burden is a sick rookie to have, and it's probably a shame that he's wide receiver 3. I said it last week as my bold prediction that this was going to be DJ Moore's last game. It should absolutely be DJ Moore's last game. I think that the Bears looked great. I think that all the Caleb Williams haters need to go away. There's no reason that you'll ever say start Tyson Bagent now because the guy almost had 300 yards. He's sixth right now in passing yards. He is tied for the league lead in touchdowns thrown at 7 with Aaron Rodgers. He's only got 1 interception on the season. The Bears look like they might have a quarterback. So for the
Yeah,
first
I mean,
time, it looks good for the Chicago Bears. And now you have the Raiders coming up next week before a bye week. Then you get, I believe it's the Giants right after that. Then you get the Ravens. That's a tough game, and I don't anticipate them winning. But then you have the Saints. I'm either switching the Saints and Giants games, as in like the Saints are the game after the bye week, but those are that's your upcoming games. This team could be 5-4, 6-3, and right all of a sudden you're right back in it.
yeah, I mean, Caleb's always had the talent. It's just he tries to make instead of making the smart play, he tries to make the incredible play.
And it looks like they really got hammered into him probably this week that like you don't have to do that in this offense. Oh no, okay, so I got the schedule. It's Raiders, then bye, then the Commanders, who Jaden Daniels still has a sprained knee right now, and that's a pretty big loss if they don't have him. That game could probably go either way at this point, but with an extra week of preparation, I probably do like the Bears. Then you have the Saints, then you have the Ravens, then you have the Bengals, who Jake Browning, and then you have the Giants. And then you're going right back into division play with the Vikings. And we don't really know what the Vikings really are. If JJ McCarthy's back out there, I actually like the Bears to probably come back because they're probably going to have Kyler Gordon back by then. It sounds like Jalen Johnson's second opinion went really well. Jalen Johnson will be back at some point this season is what the hope is.
Isn't Aaron Jones done for the year too?
Aaron Jones is, I believe, done for the year. You have TJ Edwards still coming back. So the Bears defense is going to get reinforcements by that time. Hopefully they get him by the bye week.
Yeah.
Or not, probably not for Jalen Johnson, but Kyler Gordon and TJ Edwards. If you get them back out of the bye and you're 2-2, this team has a chance again.
Yeah, and Caleb didn't take a sack today.
The offensive line looked really good. Darnell Wright got shaken up. I believe he'll be okay though. So nothing to worry about there. When healthy and when he's playing not like an idiot, he's probably one of the top 10 tackles in the NFL. So I know he's at right tackle, not left tackle. Would have really been nice to have him at left tackle. But honestly, even his replacement and I forget if it was Newman or who it was. I don't think it was Trapillo. They played well. No sacks on Caleb. And I mean, Kenny Clark did get hurt today too. That's the other guy. So there's going to be conversation. Is it just because the Cowboys are really bad on defense? That's possible. But the Bears looked really good, and I'm very excited to see where this team moves. But I do want to say, if you're a Caleb Williams needs to be benched guy, good luck, because there's no reason to ever be saying that now.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good today. Hopefully for Bears fans, he backs it up and then another week. Yeah.
Got the Raiders at Allegiant next week. Let's go into our final break, and then we're gonna real quick do like a Monday Night Football preview. And we're not gonna do anything for Sunday night just because by the time this comes out, the game's over. We have nothing really to say going into it because it'd be meaningless. But let's take that last break, and we'll get into Monday Night Football predictions. Hey guys, before we get to our Monday Night Football parlay and predictions, go over to @WOC Main on X. We post a daily hottie of the day, as well as memes and different talking points all about sports. Thanks, guys. All right, we're back. Last segment of the show, Monday Night Football preview. Let's start a parlay together. So same game parlay. We'll both take one leg that we both like. So whether that's yardages, touchdowns, points, whatever it might be. And then we got to come up with something together to make it a 3-leg. Do we agree on who's going to win this game? Let's say 3, 2, 1, and then just say the team. I'll let you count it down.
3, 2, 1.
Lions. Okay, so we're gonna go Lions money line. I mean, what's the line on the game?
ESPN has it at Baltimore -4.5.
Oh, so let's take Lions plus 4.5.
Yeah.
I
will go.
Yeah, you can go.
And then for total score is 53.5.
I'm not gonna do anything with the total score. I'm gonna take anytime touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs.
See, I don't know what any of the spread or any of the
well, who are you thinking of taking? If my app loads it in.
I'll go anytime touchdown for Sam Laporta.
So we're going Lions plus 4.5, Gibbs and Laporta scores. I mean, we could even switch it to Derrick Henry.
Yeah, anytime touchdown, Derrick Henry, I could see.
So then, yeah, let me add this all up. We'll let you guys know what this comes out to. While I do that, what's your breakdown on the game?
I mean, the Ravens, their defense I don't think it's looked that good this year so far. And I don't know, I just think Hutchinson coming back. This is his 3rd game back, so hopefully he's getting a little bit better into game shape. I just don't see I think the Lions will have a good game plan against the Ravens. I don't see the Ravens defense being able to stop all the weapons on the Lions offense.
So the first and goal parlay for this week is going to be Lions plus 4.5, Derrick Henry anytime touchdown scorer, Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown scorer. According to BetMGM, that comes out to plus 320, meaning if you put in $10, it'll pay out $42 or $32 in winnings. So obviously, if you guys are gambling, gamble responsibly. And if you guys need help, the links will be in the description of this video. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got for this week. Obviously, our Monday episodes are more of just kind of quick recaps for people that may not have been able to watch the game, whether you're at work, at a wedding, just couldn't get by a TV, maybe you're Amish, who knows. But we'll see you guys on Thursday where we'll have a lot more topics to talk about, and then we'll break down some bold predictions. But yeah, I have a feeling we're going to have quite a few things that we want to talk about for our Thursday episode. Sam, take us out of here.
Yeah, I mean, great being back, and hopefully some teams can step it back up next week. But also, shout out to Derrick Henry. I saw a stat that was if he averages 1,400 yards and I think 12 touchdowns for the next 4 seasons, he will be the all-time leading rusher and all-time leader in rushing touchdowns for his career.
How many seasons does he have to do that for?
The next 4 seasons until he's into his 35-year-old season.
I don't think he's going to be able to do that. I do want to give a shout out. Shout out to our friend, I guess more my friend Kayla, also known as Drunkla. I know you're taking this Packers game pretty rough. So shout out to you. Bear down.